had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long. Where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
Jennifer Lopez, a name synonymous with glamour, success, and worldwide fame, has now found herself indirectly caught in the middle of one of the entertainment industry's most jaw-dropping scandals. It's the kind of story that grabs headlines and refuses to let go. A tale of alleged misconduct involving two of the music world's biggest moguls, Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, with whispers of an underage victim and a resurfaced photo of Lopez herself thrown into the mix. But before jumping to conclusions, let's set the scene and dive into the details of what's shaping up to be one of the most talked about controversies in years.
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact.
Picture this. It's the year 2000, a golden era for music television, and the MTV Video Music Awards are the hottest ticket in town. Celebrities are out in full force, and the after-parties are just as legendary as the awards themselves. That night, Jennifer Lopez, at the height of her early fame, is spotted at an exclusive after-party with her then-boyfriend Diddy. The pair were known for their whirlwind romance that dominated tabloid covers, and their glamorous appearances together fed the public's appetite for drama and spectacle. But what seemed like just another star-studded evening has now resurfaced in a much darker context, as lawsuits and accusations from over 2 decades ago are bringing new scrutiny to the events of that night.
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th, as soon as we realized.
The scandal at the heart of the story involves allegations against both Diddy and Jay-Z, who have been accused in a lawsuit of misconduct against a young individual at an after-party following the MTV, and as in September 2000. The lawsuit, which has recently been amended to include Jay-Z's name, paints a deeply disturbing picture of what allegedly happened behind closed doors that evening. But it's not just the accusations themselves that have people talking. It's the resurfaced photo of Jennifer Lopez taken hours before the alleged events that's reigniting interest in this long-buried story.
Yeah, but so there's still, I mean, it's crazy too because there's still more happening in court. Like, I mean, everything is still active even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore. And the people may be fatigued like we talked about prior to.
The photo, which has been making the rounds online, shows Lopez locked in what appears to be a heated exchange with Diddy at New York's now defunct Lotus nightclub. It's a striking image. Jennifer, dressed to impress in a bold, geometric, patterned mini dress, her expression tense as she confronts Puff Daddy, who is casually leaning against a wall with a beverage in hand. According to reports, this argument took place just hours before the alleged incident that has now led to legal action. While there is no suggestion whatsoever that Lopez was involved in or even aware of the events described in the lawsuit, her presence at the party has added a layer of intrigue to an already sensational story.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Lopez's relationship with Diddy, which lasted from 1999 to 2001, was famously tumultuous. The pair were a staple of the early 2000s celebrity scene, known for their glamorous appearances and fiery dynamic. But their love story was far from picture perfect. Lopez herself has opened up about the challenges of their relationship in past interviews, describing it as a roller coaster of passion and conflict. "It wasn't a great time in my life," she once admitted, reflecting on the emotional toll of their time together. While the couple eventually went their separate ways, their relationship has continued to cast a long shadow, and this latest development is only adding fuel to the fire. It's worth noting that the lawsuit does not name Lopez as a party to the alleged incident, nor does it suggest that she was aware of or involved in any wrongdoing. However, the resurfaced photo has put her back in the spotlight, with many speculating about what she might have seen or heard that night. Could she hold information that might shed light on the events in question? Or is her presence at the party purely coincidental, a case of wrong place, wrong time? These are the questions that are now swirling around the Popicon, despite her clear distance from the allegations themselves.
It sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
Meanwhile, the lawsuit itself has been making waves for its shocking claims. According to court documents, the incident allegedly took place during an after-party attended by some of the biggest names in the industry. The lawsuit describes an unsettling scene in which a drink was spiked, leaving the victim disoriented and vulnerable. In this altered state, the victim claims to have been taken advantage of by multiple individuals, including Diddy and Jay-Z. The lawsuit also identifies a third person who was allegedly present in the room, a woman described as a well-known celebrity, though her identity has not been disclosed. This third individual, according to the lawsuit, stood by and did nothing to intervene.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming and things of that nature.
The allegations are, of course, being vehemently denied by those involved. Jay-Z, in particular, has come out swinging, issuing a fiery public statement in which he categorically denied the claims and accused the lawyer representing the alleged victim of attempting to extort him. No, sir, it had the opposite effect, Jay-Z declared in his statement, responding to what he called a blatant attempt to use the court of public opinion to pressure him into a settlement. He went on to call the allegations heinous and urged the lawyer to pursue criminal charges if the claims had any merit rather than filing a civil lawsuit. It's a bold move, one that suggests he is prepared to fight these accusations head on. As for Diddy, the allegations against him are just the tip of the iceberg. Over the past year, he has faced a mounting wave of lawsuits and accusations ranging from workplace misconduct to allegations of orchestrating secretive high-profile gatherings that have become the stuff of urban legend. These allegations, combined with the ongoing legal battles, have painted a picture of a man whose larger-than-life persona might be hiding a much darker reality. Diddy's legal troubles have also raised questions about the culture of silence that can surround powerful figures in the entertainment industry, with many wondering how such allegations could go unchecked for so long.
Basically what that means is the money that they're saying Diddy has to start paying this guy on October 1st, right. Diddy's team is like, hold on, we need an emergency conversation about why this should not have been granted. Mm-hmm. And they awarded him a TRO, which basically meant that Diddy's team was not allowed to sell any property in that state or anything related to what could be used to pay the plaintiff.
For Jennifer Lopez, the resurfacing of this story comes at a particularly complicated time. Fresh off her recent divorce from Ben Affleck, Lopez has been focusing on her career, promoting her latest film and navigating life as a single woman once again. The last thing she likely expected was to be dragged into a decades-old scandal involving her ex-boyfriend and his alleged misdeeds. While Lopez has not publicly addressed the resurfaced photo or the lawsuit, her silence has done little to quell the speculation surrounding her connection to the events of that night. What makes this story even more compelling is the way it taps into the broader cultural conversation about accountability and complicity. In an era where high-profile figures are being held to account for past actions, the question of who knew what and when has taken on new significance. For Lopez, the resurfaced photo raises questions about her role, however peripheral, in a narrative that is still unfolding. Was she merely a bystander to a heated argument? Or does her presence at the party suggest a deeper awareness of the dynamics at play? These are the kinds of questions that the public, and perhaps even the courts, will be grappling with as the case moves forward.
You know, it's still pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share. But more importantly, it's still very...
Adding to the intrigue is the fact that Lopez's relationship with Diddy was already fraught with controversy long before this latest scandal emerged. From their infamous nightclub incident in 1999, which saw the couple briefly detained by authorities, to the rumors of infidelity that plagued their romance, Lopez and Diddy's time together was anything but smooth sailing. While the couple ultimately parted ways on seemingly amicable terms, with Lopez going on to marry and divorce multiple times, the shadow of their relationship has never fully disappeared. And now, with the resurfacing of this photo and the allegations against Diddy making headlines, that shadow has grown even darker.
Guys, we are lucky to have Precious Miora here, and she's been at the Diddy parties, and she's about to spill some secrets.
What's particularly striking about this story is the way it blurs the lines between past and present, fame and infamy, innocence and culpability. For Jennifer Lopez, a woman who has spent decades building an empire on her talent and work ethic, being linked, even tangentially, to such a scandal is undoubtedly a bitter pill to swallow. Yet, it also serves as a reminder of the complexities of fame and the ways in which personal and professional lives can become inextricably intertwined. For better or worse, Lopez's connection to Diddy means that his actions, past and present, will inevitably reflect on her, even if she had no part in them. As the legal battle unfolds, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. With new details emerging by the day and the public hungry for answers, the scandal involving Diddy, Jay-Z, and the unnamed third individual is set to dominate headlines for the foreseeable future. For Jennifer Lopez, the challenge will be to navigate this storm with the grace and resilience that have defined her career, all while maintaining her distance from the allegations that have nothing to do with her. Whether she chooses to address the resurfaced photo or remain silent, her name will undoubtedly continue to be a part of this unfolding saga, if only because the world can't seem to look away.
Okay, so basically I was a Playboy Bunny. So a Playboy Bunny representing New York State. The reason why I need to clarify this is when you're a Playboy Bunny, you are part of the corporation, and you are a bunny, and you do have a title and you wear a uniform, but you don't get a month.
The scandal surrounding Diddy Combs and Jay-Z has taken the entertainment world by storm, but it's not just the allegations that have people talking. It's the ripple effects that seem to be touching everyone in their orbit. And while Jennifer Lopez's connection to this saga might seem tenuous to some, others argue that her proximity to these events, both personal and professional, makes her an unavoidable part of the conversation. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To fully understand where this story is heading, we need to unpack the reactions, the legal maneuvers, and the broader implications of this growing controversy.
And the reason why I never pursued a month is because being Playboy of the Month, I was told there was insinuations multiple times that I had to do something to stand out to Hefner and the team. And that to me seemed like there was a underlining tone of, what is it that I have to do to get this role?
Let's start with Jay-Z, whose inclusion in the lawsuit has added a fresh layer of complexity to an already tangled mess. Known for his sharp business acumen and his rise from the streets of Brooklyn to billionaire status, Jay-Z has always been a figure who projects control and confidence. But this time, he finds himself publicly fighting back against allegations that could tarnish not just his reputation, but his entire legacy. In a lengthy statement, Jay-Z didn't mince words. He called the accusations heinous and claimed they were part of a calculated attempt to extort him. This isn't about truth or justice, he said. This is about a payday. He even went so far as to say that the lawyer representing the alleged victim had sent a letter demanding money before the lawsuit was filed, describing it as a blatant attempt to pressure him into a settlement. And let's be honest, this kind of defiance isn't just about clearing his name. It's about sending a message that he won't be bullied, no matter how ugly the headlines get.
But like I said, the entertainment industry is very, very, very messed up when it comes to, the bigger you get, the more you had to do to get there. And so if you're not willing to put yourself in that position, you kind of have to put your foot down.
But while Jay-Z is taking a hardline approach, Diddy's situation is much more complicated. Over the past year, he's been hit with a wave of lawsuits and accusations that paint a disturbing picture of his private life. From claims of coercive behavior to allegations of exploitation at high-profile gatherings, Diddy is facing scrutiny on multiple fronts. And if that wasn't enough, his name has now been linked to a separate case involving the tragic passing of Kim Porter, his longtime partner and mother to 3 of his children. Porter's passing in 2018 was ruled as a natural occurrence, but recent allegations from her ex, Al B. Schur, have reignited speculation about the circumstances surrounding her final days. Al B. Schur has even gone so far as to call for an official investigation, claiming that Porter may have been silenced because of what she knew about Diddy's private dealings. While these claims remain unverified, they've added yet another layer of intrigue to an already explosive story.
Everyone keeps saying to me, like, how did you keep, why did you keep going? Why were you there? I'm like, it literally is around me. If I don't stay at home, this is the atmosphere I'm in. Like, I have no choice.
For Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. His image as a music mogul, entrepreneur, and philanthropist is now being overshadowed by these accusations, and the public is starting to question whether the man who once declared himself the king of the world might have been hiding some dark secrets. Adding to the drama is the fact that Diddy's legal troubles extend beyond the current lawsuit. He's also facing separate allegations involving workplace misconduct and financial improprieties, which have only fueled the perception that he's a man under siege. And while Diddy has consistently denied all wrongdoing, his once unshakable empire is starting to show cracks. Even his legal team appears to be on shaky ground, with reports emerging that his longtime law firm recently dropped him as a client. It's a rare and telling move that suggests even those closest to him might be distancing themselves from the growing storm.
he is very, very dominant. Like, he wants to control the situation. He wants to control his inner circle. He wants to make everyone have a good time and enjoy his parties. And so, you know, it is scary because you think, you know, this person or possibly his social network or the people he's around could make or break your career.
Now, let's talk about the culture of silence that seems to surround this entire saga. One of the most striking aspects of these allegations is how long they've remained hidden, or at least unspoken, in an industry that thrives on gossip and scandal. For years, whispers about Diddy's private parties and his alleged treatment of women has circulated in Hollywood circles, but few dared to speak out. Some argue that this silence is a byproduct of the immense power and influence that figures like Diddy and Jay-Z wield. After all, who would want to risk their career by going up against two of the most powerful men in entertainment? Others believe it's a reflection of a broader issue within the industry, where loyalty and fear often outweigh accountability and justice. Whatever the reason, the fact that these allegations are only now coming to light raises serious questions about who knew what and when.
If you say the wrong thing or you complain or you know, I don't know, there's an element where you're just, I guess manipulated in a way to make you feel like, oh, you have to please everyone around you. You can't say anything wrong. You don't want to say a bad thing. Or, you know, when they're constantly asking, would you like to do drugs? And you're like, well, I don't do drugs. And they're like, well, why don't you do drugs? And so, like, it's...
And then there's Jennifer Lopez, whose name keeps popping up in conversations about this scandal, despite her lack of direct involvement. While Lopez has remained silent on the allegations against her ex, her presence at the infamous afterparty has led to speculation about what she might have seen or heard that night. Could she hold valuable insights into Diddy's behavior, or is her connection to the case being overstated? It's a question that's hard to answer, especially given Lopez's own history with Diddy. Their relationship, while passionate, was also fraught with challenges, including rumors of infidelity and a high-profile incident at a nightclub that saw both of them briefly detained by authorities. While Lopez eventually moved on and built a successful career independent of Diddy, her time with him remains a defining chapter in her personal and professional life. And now, with the resurfaced photo and the ongoing lawsuits, that chapter is being revisited in ways she likely never anticipated. What's particularly interesting is how Lopez has managed to navigate the fallout from this scandal without directly addressing it. Unlike Jay-Z and Diddy, who have both issued public statements, Lopez has chosen to remain silent, focusing instead on her career and personal life. It's a calculated move that speaks to her media savvy, but also leaves room for speculation. Is she staying quiet to avoid being dragged into the controversy, or is she waiting for the right moment to share her side of the story? And if she does decide to speak out, what impact could her words have on the ongoing legal battles? These are the kinds of questions that are keeping fans and critics glued to the unfolding drama.
Using, allegedly, these events to invite them back to these private mansion parties and hotel parties and God knows what else. But he was utilizing the branded events to be able to, you know, get the girls to come over to his private spaces, allegedly.
Meanwhile, the legal and public reactions to this scandal have been nothing short of intense. Social media has become a battleground for opinions, with some defending Jay-Z and Diddy as victims of a smear campaign, while others are calling for accountability and justice. The hashtag Justice for Jane Doe has been trending on multiple platforms, with advocates demanding a thorough investigation into the allegations. At the same time, high-profile celebrities and industry insiders have been conspicuously silent, fueling speculation about whether they're protecting their own interests or simply waiting for more facts to emerge. It's a delicate and volatile situation, one that has the potential to reshape the entertainment industry's approach to accountability and transparency.
There is so many people involved in this situation that works the machine here. That, you know, Diddy's obviously the head of the whole situation. You know, the king of parties, but there is multiple other people involved that are helping along the situation or, you know, participating in some way.
One of the most shocking developments in the saga is the revelation that there may be video evidence of some of the alleged misconduct. According to a witness who testified before a grand jury, Diddy's infamous parties were often recorded, and these recordings allegedly include footage that could corroborate some of the claims being made. If true, this evidence could be a game changer, not just for the lawsuit, but for the public perception of everyone involved. However, the existence of these tapes has also sparked a frenzy of rumors and speculation, with some claiming that a bidding war is underway to keep the footage from becoming public. It's a twist straight out of a Hollywood thriller, and it raises the stakes for an already high-profile case. As this scandal continues to unfold, we can't help but wonder, how much did Jennifer Lopez really know about what happened that night? And could her testimony potentially change the course of this explosive case? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more celebrity news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.